Kent County Council has a long history of innovation and transformation that has delivered real and significant service improvements for Kent residents and better value for taxpayers. Innovation happens throughout the organisation, and it is this culture that meant the formation of the Social Innovation Lab was a natural next step and part of Kent County Council's ongoing journey of transformation.
What Silk did, we're actually using consumers more dynamically. We're using that rich talent that's out there, that's you and I as ordinary citizens, who can actually feed back some very profound things, which professions tend to lose sight of at times. And I think in that sense, it's changed the way Kent County now creates and what it does on its policy.
The support that Silk had from other organisations and innovation experts was very, very important. We had a design partner all the way through the pilot, an organisation called Engine. First of all, as designers, they have an urge to make things tangible, and I think it's very helpful. You don't disappear into the realm of theory, you're really kind of trying to make things real, and that's very important. I think secondly, design can bring a much more structured approach to generating ideas.
Because Lauren is learning stuff as she goes along.
Through Engine's work with organisations in all sectors, we see some very similar patterns in terms of what people are asking for and what their needs are. In local government, we're seeing a need to understand new ways to personalise services. People are asking us to help them understand the experiences of the people who they serve, how to connect that understanding to a process of service design or redesign.
Gateway is the response of Kent County Council and its other public sector partners in Kent to customers' needs. We work with Engine, and alongside our frontline staff, they helped us to understand what were the barriers stopping customers getting the resolution they needed. It's very important that our staff really understand the diverse range of personas that are coming in to access our services.
Engine's work is about creating opportunities for learning through doing. Very practical work that's very visual, about making both the process and possible concepts and solutions very tangible so that all kinds of people can get involved in the process. And this is very different from more traditional forms of bureaucratic consultation around pieces of work.
And then once we filled in their backstory, well...
So we're creating a persona? Okay.
From somebody that we know.
So over a series of workshops, Engine helped our staff to create personas, such as Mr. Never Satisfied and Mrs. Happy. And these were personas generated by our frontline staff based on real life experiences.
Mr. Never Satisfied.
One of the projects that came out of our initial project looking at low-income families was a piece of work looking at fathers. It was really interesting though. Fathers were notably absent in the research we did around the lives of low-income families.
The whole Engaging Fathers project really relied upon the way in which Engine worked with us. And the process was absolutely fascinating. Nobody was actually telling dads what they wanted them to do. They were actually asking. They were saying to dads, what's important to you? Why do you want to do this with your kids? How are you going to do it with your kids? Where are you going to go? And it was the dads that came up with all the answers.
On the islands, there isn't actually anything really here what dads can actually go to for themselves to spend some time with their children in a secure area where, you know, you can do different activities, and plus there's other days when you can go out yourself.
The team of fathers from the Daddy Cool group developed a new scheme that will provide parents with reduced rates on local activities and family-related services. By coordinating and running this scheme, the Seychelles Children and Family Centre will enable a growing pool of local dads to spend more quality time with their children on their own terms.
For a dad, it's quite important for this day and age for them to bond with their children instead of just going out all the time and working. It's a good idea for a club, something like that, to be done.
Since Silk began, there have been some fantastic achievements, all the more so when you think we only started with a budget of £80,000 and a team of 3. But I don't think that the path is necessarily straightforward in the future.
We have to think much more radically about futures, and innovation is part of that journey. It's not simply about having a bit of work that's done differently. You've got to think of it in terms of being in the main blood of the public sector as we move forward in this century. And I think that's the challenge for all of us.